Welcome to an example in which we're looking at a town's population has been growing linearly, so it's a linear problem. In 2003, the population was 68,000. The population has been growing by 2,200 people each year. Write an equation for the population P, X years after 2003. Okay, how do we do this? Well, they want us to write a formula. P equals something times X plus something. How does that work? Well, it's like the equation y equals mx plus b. It's like a linear equation. It is a linear equation, not just like a linear equation. It's a linear equation. And how it works is right here, and thus right there, goes the slope. And what is the slope? That's the rate of change. What does it mean, rate of change? It's growing by 2,200 people each year. So the slope is 2,200 people per 1 year. That's the slope. Slope is a rate of change, right? Slope is how fast you do. Like if I say I can grade 10 papers per hour, or I can drive my car 50 miles per hour. See how it always has 2 units to it? Papers per hour, miles per hour. I can, whatever. You can throw a baseball 50 feet per second or whatever. A rate is a slope which always has 2 things to it. So people per hour. So this is going to be 2,200 over 1. That's the slope, the rate of change. That goes next to x. And that's what goes in this blank here. Let me do a better job. So in this blank, it goes 2,200 over 1. And back here, the b, this part is what's called the y-intercept, which means it is the starting amount. So the starting amount. What's the starting amount? In 2003, the population was 68,000. That's when we're starting this whole thing off. So what goes right there is the 68,000. So the final formula then is 2,200x plus 68,000. We don't need the over 1, right? That, divide, you think, well, why'd you show it? Well, because it's really there. It's 1 year, but right, because it's 2,200 people per year. But if you divide 2,200 by 1, the number is just 2,200, right? Dividing by 1, right? 1 goes into 2,200 times, obviously. So we don't need to show the 1. So there's the formula for the number of people, the population, X years after 2003. Then finally, they want us to use that formula, use this formula you just found, to find the population in 2009. So 2009 is 6 years after 2003, isn't it? 6 years later. And remember what X is? X is years after 2003. So X equals 6. So they want me to plug in to that formula X equals 6. So we'll get 2,200 times 6 plus 68,000, which equals, if you use your key, just hit the buttons on your calculator, which I'm going to do right now too. 2,200 times 6 plus, minus plus 68, 1, 2, 3. I'm getting 81,200 people. So the town starts off at 68,000 people. This town, 68,000 people in the year 2003, but it's going up 2,200 people a year. So by 2009, 6 years later, it'll go 2,200 people 6 times. That makes sense, right? 6 years of growing by 2,200 people each year. 6 times 2,200 plus the original, added to the original 68,000 people, is 81,200 people. So you see how that formula, see how this linear formula works? It's just however many years X after 2003 times 2,200 people per year added to the original 68,000 people. That's how we do linear equations. It's a slope, a rate of change, times X plus the starting amount. We say mx plus b. This is called the slope. This is called the y-intercept.